He had muscular dystrophy when he was young, because they didn't want to like ruin his life. And then as he got older, he started falling, and then he couldn't walk, and then he wound up in a wheelchair. And then they told him, and the doctors told him, it's going to get worse. And he was just on this search and this journey. And then he came to London in a wheelchair, and he's walking around in his life right now. I mean, it's insane. That's one story. And then we had a woman that was diagnosed with colorectal cancer. And the typical procedure for that is to surgically remove the colon and the rectum. So they took out 9 centimeters of her colon and rectum. Now, when you lose that part of your body, you have to have a bag because you can no longer control your bowel function. And on some level, you lose your dignity, right? And so she spent the majority of her time next to a toilet her whole life. She couldn't walk. She told me she couldn't be more than 3 or 4 meters from the toilet because she had to go back there and sit on it all the time. Anyway, they told her, you're going to live with this. You're too old. Don't expect any change. She didn't accept that. This is a crazy story because it has challenged my belief. She told me that she started doing the work and she's thought maybe I could grow my rectum and my colon back. And everybody told her she was crazy, right? And she did the work, she did the work, she did the work. At a certain point, she told me she told me I couldn't do a meditation and get through it. I'd have to go to the toilet in 1 minute or 2 minutes, then I would just do my meditation on the toilet, she said. And she said, one day I was able to do my entire meditation without using the toilet. That's all she needed. That's all she needed. And then the next thing you know, she was able to become more mobile. And then she decided to come to a week-long retreat. And she just thought, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to come. She sat through every single lecture and every single meditation without using the toilet. She went back to her doctor after that, and she grew 5 centimeters of her colon back on the scan. But I'm not done. She continued to do the work and continued the process. And she stood on the stage and she grew 10 centimeters of her rectum and colon back after she got 9 centimeters of her colon and rectum surgically removed. Now, what does that mean? That means the human body has the innate capacity to regenerate itself at any age if it's given the right information. I mean, growing tissues that are part of an organ that have been surgically removed, growing that back, I didn't even want to say anything publicly about that because it's not easy for people to wrap their mind around it. But no different than a salamander or an octopus, she was able to restore tissue on her body. And yeah, she just came to an event a few months ago, and she's living her life. Yeah. And that's a strong footprint in consciousness, because that means that if she can do it.
How is that possible? Like,
well,
what's happening?
I do think that it's a very long journey. I mean, it took her a few years to do, but she never gave up. I mean, when you're in the meditative state,